Hi, I'm Bill from CJ Pony Parts. There's no doubt that the Brembo 6-piston caliper offered on the Performance Pack Mustang GT is the best caliper ever fitted to a Mustang from the factory. While caliper does a great job, there's definitely room for improvement in other areas of the braking system, including the pads and the rotors. So today we're going to upgrade the rotors on our Performance Pack GT with these new sport rotors from Baer. These 15-inch Baer sport rotors are vented and will be direct replacements for the factory rotors on all Performance Pack equipped 2015 through 2017 Mustangs. They come cross-rolled and slotted for a custom look and higher performance, and also come with a zinc coating to prevent against rust. Like I mentioned, these Baer sport rotors are going to be a direct replacement for your factory with no modifications required. They will work with stock or aftermarket pads, and there is going to be a bedding procedure required, which we will explain later. As you can see, our factory rotors aren't in bad shape. You can see some rust starting on the edges. Definitely going to be a huge upgrade going with the Baer rotor over our stock ones. Now, the installation, the first thing you do is get the car off the ground, remove the wheel. I do suggest using some penetrating oil and spray it in here, as sometimes the rotor does tend to stick to the hub. We moved underneath our car, which is 100% not necessary for the installation. We're doing this only so you can see the bolts better. So remove the caliper and get it out of the way. There's one bracket bolt down here and one up top. The bolt's off, now we can remove the caliper. Just kind of shimmy it off and put it out of the way back here on the frame rail. Now, if you're lucky at this point, the rotor will just come off. In our case, you can see it's on there pretty good. We're going to start with a soft hammer to see if we can knock it loose. The rotors are side specific, so make sure you grab the correct one. I'm sure some of you are wondering about the weight on these rotors, and we had done the errata speeds in the past, which are the 2-piece rotor. The errata speed does weigh less than your factory rotor. Given this is a 1-piece rotor just like your original, the weight is just about the same as the factory. Before we reinstall the caliper, we're going to put one lug nut in place here. That'll keep the rotor tight against the hub, makes it easier to get the caliper back on. This is easier to start at the top. We'll sort of work that on. And then reinstall the bolts. And now we can tighten these up. Okay, reinstall the wheel, repeat the process on the other side, and your installation is finished. Once you get both rotors installed, your wheels back on and torqued to spec, you're ready to take it for a drive. Now, to make sure the rotors last long and perform properly, you want to break them in. To do that, drive for about 5 to 6 days, normal driving, normal stop and go, nothing real heavy. After that, do a couple of heavy stops, 60 to 0, 45 to 0, 30 to 0. Do a bunch of those, then drive around a little bit to cool it off, and they'll be ready to go. The installation is very simple. All you need is to get the car up in the air and use a 15-inch wrench and a ratchet, and it'll take you about an hour to do both sides and be back on the road in no time.